podcast will start in 3, 2, 1.
You guys are rolling.
Welcome to the Unqualified Professionals.
All right, we got Irving and Anna here from 4K Auto Reps. So you guys have been going for about 11 years now in business, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Legally, we'll register, right?
Yeah.
We registered that in 2016.
Yeah.
Okay. So how'd you guys get to start doing this? How'd you fall into this business? And
I used to buy and sell cars all the time. And it came to a point that the Nissan 350C, we bought that thing over 11 years ago. And I kept the ones that I like. I would work on a mechanic work, any type of work. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, you know what? I think a friend of ours asked if we could wrap his Hummer. And when we were dating, she would come to the house, and I would work on the garage the whole time. Even though she was there, she helped me with the lower control arms. That's why I told you.
You would always be doing something in the garage, whether it be mechanical, body work, or anything. And then I was working at Chipotle at the time. So after work, I would go and just literally sit in the garage and just watch him work on it, whatever it could be.
Was the Hummer the first rep?
Yeah.
Was it an H1, H2?
It was an H2.
Okay.
I told the customer, asked me, hey, how much are you going to charge me? I'm like, yeah, $300. A door took me 7 hours.
oh god,
7 hours to do a door. It took me 4 weeks to do the whole vehicle.
oh my goodness.
I already had told him, yeah, sure, bring it.
Did he tip you?
No.
See, that really makes it worthwhile.
I kept the leftovers. But
Yeah.
Other than that, no.
And what color did he want it?
It was black on black. He had kids. He has like 5 kids. So every panel was completely scratched.
Oh my
He
goodness.
was going to sell it to Carfax. So that's what we did. I'm like, you know what? Let's just wrap it black, sell it back to Carfax.
So for that first car, the first vehicle, for it taking longer than you thought, it really made you rethink the pricing?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, again, the
And life
problem...
decisions.
Don't get me wrong. To this day, we get vehicles that makes you think, like, am I doing this? Like, we're too far in to go back to something else.
Right.
There's a vehicle, so always gonna be a vehicle that makes you think, rethink your life decisions. I'm like, shit, what am I doing? Like, am I stuck with this? Am I gonna keep doing this? But that Hummer was a shit show.
Really?
I mean, the only thing that made it worth it, again, the vehicle was already black, so we kept the leftovers. And what we're doing, basically, we were mobile. So we had a guy that had an NSX. This was like 10 years ago.
Huh.
Yeah. He bought it from an auction. It was rebuilt title. But he's like, hey, can you do my top black? He calls, he's like, I don't want to put any miles. I'm like, there we go. Go to the garage, do the top. And kept doing that until the roll finally, completely was gone. And then we were actually pretty busy. Vinyl was not popular back then. We were doing Craigslist ads.
All right.
Did you ever think about doing like commercial ones, like for taxi companies or something, where you get to do like 10 of them in like a week?
That vehicle over there is going to be actually for a company. It's supposed to be a big company. They do They have a big fleet, anywhere between 50, 70 vehicles. But the problem with commercial, think that color changes are the same when it's not.
You think what?
They think color changes. Color changes, is the same thing as commercial. Anybody could do commercial. And they think they're vinyl wrappers. But if you put somebody that does commercial into color changes, when I say color changes, any type of color. You want to do blue, green, orange, pink, whatever color you like, and they want to treat vinyl color change like commercial, doesn't work. Color change, it's really difficult when it comes to conforming, doing all these areas, all the corners, and that's where people be like, hey, you know what? I prefer to do commercial. Well, no shit. You're gonna price one vehicle for $500 and make $500 in half an hour. Not bad.
So what you're doing is just sticking it on and like that's it. You just cut the edges and there you go. Versus this, you gotta be more into like the details, making sure every inch is like super clean and you're not leaving anything behind because then it doesn't stick. So you gotta redo the whole thing again.
Yeah. So from A to Z, what would be like how you start. Where do you start? Where do you end? As far as like when you do a full-on wrap like of a car like this.
Basically, it comes down to prep work. You gotta prep everything. From
Take off door panels, door handles, mirrors, anything that's in the way.
this way, the other side is completely everything that's on the way from the mirrors, door handles, whatever's on the way, it has to come off. We need to clean everything nicely, clay bar it, and then go ahead and we gotta turn off the AC. There's no AC on, no door open, so there's not contamination on the vehicle, and we take that seriously. When you see this vehicle up front, you can get close to the corners. It looks like paint. Compared to somebody else that does commercial, it looks half-ass. And we had tons and tons of companies saying, "Oh, this is one of the best door jams that you've done. There's a pretty good work." Or, again, we had different shops coming in, and they recognize the work. And it comes down to prep work. If it's not prepped properly, it's gonna look half-ass.
Yeah, that's one thing you could tell with even on your Instagram. It's quality every time. That's good to put your name on.
Yeah, the worst thing we want is people coming back, because it wasn't done right the first time.
Have you had any awkward designs people have come in with? Like that one guy that had the rainbow pony on the Ferrari. That was like 2 years ago and he got banned from Ferrari. Anybody have anything like that?
We get stupid stuff all the time, and being honest, whatever the customers want.
All money's green.
Exactly. As long as they're happy. I tell them all the time, you know what, I'm going to be honest with you. My main concern is for you to leave happy. We had customers say, can you print a bunch of dicks for me so I can stick them on people's windshields, so I can put them on calipers? I'm like, whatever you want. I'm like,
put them on calipers. Brake calipers?
What color you want your dicks?
Oh, God.
Circumcised or not circumcised? Did this guy get punched in another country? Is he missing his balls?
It comes down to whatever they want. At the end of the day, we just did one that she told me, she's like, it's probably for a gender reveal. So it was like, the front was blue, fading into pink. So she's like, it's for a gender reveal. I'm like,
it looked really good at the end, though, but at first we were like...
Something unusual, something you don't see it.
Yeah,
right.
And we had another lady, how old is she? Super nice lady. She came in, she's like, I want my truck pink, sparkly pink.
Mm-hmm.
She sent pictures of her house being pink, her couches being pink. One of the nicest ladies
like
ever.
real life Barbie.
Yeah,
She was super nice lady. Yeah.
What type of vehicle?
It was a Chevy Equinox, actually. Yeah.
I think I've seen that thing.
She's
It's
super,
it's also
super
faded,
nice.
right? It goes from white
From white to pink. Super nice lady. Let me tell you, she's really nice. And it was something I always tell my customers: vinyl's not cheap, so might as well make it worth it. Make something that you like. If you're gonna be happy, he took forever to pick the green. He was not 100% satisfied with the color that he wanted, but he asked, what kind of brand would you pick when it comes to this? G-Wagon, you want to make sure that you pick something that is going to stay there.
Interesting, because I thought this color is like borderline illegal, but that's cool because it's like a military green.
Yeah.
Because there's like two illegal colors I know of in this country.
Mm-hmm.
Military green and school bus yellow.
Military green is illegal?
Yeah, it is. But being it's technically not paint, it's technically not illegal.
We had customers. Asking for
That's
chrome,
interesting.
and we heard that chrome was illegal. When
Really?
it comes to being sunny, everything you're flashing everybody in their eyes, they can't see. So that's one issue that we had in the past.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I had a dude who went to high school. He was pulling people over with a strobe light in his car and robbing.
And robbing people.
Yeah, like,
course.
instead of license and registration, he was just like, once he got, because once they pull over, that was like half his battle, I guess. So he just went up to the car window and started robbing people.
Did he have a vinyl wrap?
Nope.
Okay.
No,
it's just a black and white
Yeah,
Crown Victoria.
He would drive like a
of course.
car and it'd be at night. So he'd just come up behind him. He'd have the same car model as a cop at the time. At the time, they were driving Impalas. So
Prison.
So is he still doing this?
no, man, no. R.I.P. He ended up dying. Not because of that though.
Oh my God.
He just he might have messed with the wrong people, pulled over the wrong person. But yeah, he's not around anymore.
He's around. He's just not going anywhere.
Yeah, no, nowhere soon. Back to the wraps. What's your favorite What's your favorite vehicle you've done
As in favorite to work on, or
ever? Yeah.
I think when it comes to something different, something, we get a bunch of high-end vehicles, which is good, don't get me wrong. But at the same time, when it comes to easy vehicles, any European vehicles are easy because they're put together well. But I guess, like I said, anything different. G-Wagons are fun to do. They're just too many pieces. They're like Legos.
Teslas are the easiest ones.
Why? Explain to the ignorant.
Well, it's just a bunch of flat areas, if you think about it. Like, nothing's really sticking out. The mirrors are not in the way. Like, door handles are not in the way. They don't have, like, stuff on the side, on the fenders. Like, most you have to remove is probably, like, the cameras and maybe some back pieces. And that's about it. But everything's just flat.
You
Like,
wrap the
straight up
plate.
flat. Yeah.
That's how you beat the cameras. You wrap the plate. So the more aerodynamic, the better. So my Prius would be fine. It'd be pretty easy to do.
Yeah.
Well, Toyota has these issues with door handles. In order for you to get to remove your door handle, you need to remove the latch, the hinge itself. You need to remove the door panel. You need to do a whole shit show just to remove your door handle in the Prius. When this door handle comes off in 2 seconds.
Yeah. Nice. Okay.
So it's fun to work on this one. When it comes to your door handle, it's not fun.
It's a lot of give and take.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
in cars. There's other ones too that you gotta remove the whole thing, right? I don't know what other
What I was
cars.
telling you earlier, Lamborghini. She's able to remove the mirror in a Lamborghini because her hands are smaller. But when it comes to removing the the mirror in the Lamborghini, you need to remove the glass because the glass is on the way. You need to make sure that the glass is properly marked so it lines up. When you put everything back together, since it's frameless, you don't want the glass hitting the B pillar or the A pillar when you close it. So she knows how to do that. She takes everything apart when it comes to tedious stuff like that.
So unlike painting, there actually is quite a bit of disassembly
Oh,
that
yeah.
has to happen. I mean, like there is disassembly with painting, but
You know how many
This-
body shops we've seen that does shit half-ass? They do shit half-ass. I'm like,
probably
Europe-
80%.
Yeah.
Yep, that's what I figured.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah, I have a Mako paint job on a car I recently blew the engine on, but I drove it there almost like I prepped it. I drove it there with no headlights, no
Oh
taillights,
my god.
and I did this at like 8 o'clock in the morning. And I had newspaper on the windows, which I guess wasn't completely necessary, going down the street with newspaper. But I did this like 8 years ago. And yeah, they did an okay job. But
Because of the prepping you did.
But I did the prep, and including like we sprayed the top with primer and everything like that. I'll show you the picture if I can find it. But yeah, it was kind of funny because it looked like it was ready for a demolition derby.
Yeah, no, don't get me wrong. When it comes to body shops, we deal with 2 body shops that are super nice. They're really high-end body shops. But they stand out of every other body shop, you know?
Right.
What's the average cost of just? I mean, I know it depends by the car and by the vehicle, but what's the average cost of a wrap?
So let's say you bring me a Prius, and you bring me a BMW and a Prius. I know they're not the same, but they're both sedans. So at the end of the day, we're gonna price you based on a sedan.
Okay.
A sedan would be anywhere around 3,800 because prices, it just keeps going up. If you asked me a year ago, be way lower, probably like around 3,000. So
More of anything, the material has gone up. So it also depends on what color you want. You know.
the fancier the color, the pricier it gets. If you want something that's color shift, it's gonna be more. If
Right.
you want something that's fading, it's gonna be more. If you want something that's printed, it's gonna be more. If you want commercial super cheap.
Right. So it's just like making T-shirts. The more ink colors you have, the more product, the more cost.
This thing took over a role to do the proper way. So it took over a role, so it's pricier than a regular wrap. But again, if you bring me a 2-door or a Lamborghini, Lamborghini is tedious on taking the windows off, taking the glass, taking the door handles, taking the mirrors, so that we take that in consideration.
Right. That's what I was getting towards. Like, it depends on the vehicle too.
You bring a 911, we'll remove the window and the quarter panel to make a clean job. Where a lot of people don't do that, they don't bother. That's the difference where we try to go beyond to make sure that it looks like paint.
I'm assuming the easiest to do, correct me if I'm wrong, is a cargo van.
No.
No,
They're
really?
huge. The panels are bigger than 60.
Huh.
60 inches, so they're all, keep in mind, they're 60 inches tall. So any panel that's longer, bigger than that, you're going to have to make it work, make it look clean.
Okay, I learned something today.
I think BMWs, 3 Series, Audis, Teslas are super easy to do.
Yeah, she was mentioning she's like,
And,
that's about
I
the
mean-
easiest.
Yeah, I'll be
Yes.
happy to do Teslas all day.
Smooth.
Yeah.
So how does the price of wrapping compare to like a paint job? Paint
Well,
job's probably more expensive, right?
It is,
yeah.
it is. I mean, keep in mind here, go to, who's going to...
Sometimes even the shops that we deal with bodywork or paint jobs or whatever, he sends people our way because sometimes they want to just change the color, and the guy's like, it's not worth it. It's gonna cost you like $20,000 just to get a whole color change.
Holy
Like,
shit.
painted. So
yeah,
when I wrap, it costs a percentage of that.
like not even half that. So.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah.
Not even
Don't get me
half.
wrong, I would love to charge $10,000, but we're really fair with the prices.
Sidetrack, if it's okay. Who's your favorite rapper?
Vinyl wrapper?
No, like mine's Biggie Smalls.
Oh, okay.
So, little segue here. Who's your favorite rapper? Do you have a favorite rapper?
I don't actually.
You don't.
No.
Do you?
It's because we listen to Pandora. Pandora throws Spanish music, English music. It throws every type of whatever comes up through that speaker.
Yeah, he's more like old like rock back then. Like I don't know if you've ever heard like Mana.
I've heard
Probably
of Richie Valens.
Yeah. So we listen to more of that kind of like rock, Spanish music, I guess.
Yeah, when we're not listening to that, we're listening to Despicable Me.
So
Disney movies.
so you don't listen to rap music while you rap.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here and there, but
It comes on.
If it does.
some Eminem, some Kanye West, here and there.
So you named a few.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
I recently learned
sure.
Kanye is not from Chicago. He was brought to Chicago as a child. Yeah. Sorry, did I ruin something for it? I ruined something for the cameraman. And Tupac was born in New York City. He's technically East Coast. I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
Yeah.
And Eminem was born in Missouri. He was brought to Detroit. Okay. So, sorry about these statistics.
I don't know about the Eminem one.
I do.
For sure.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
I never knew that.
Uh huh.
Never knew that about him.
St. Joe, Missouri.
Wow, this guy knows. Neat. What else can we?
Find that
What else can we? How else can we ruin your day?
Yeah, that really did. It's taking me there.
The NFL's fake.
Yeah. NFL is fake.
But not the XFL.
it's
XFL's legit.
It's scripted.
Is there a car that you guys haven't wrapped yet that you want to? Like even like a celebrity car. Would you want to like
Cybertruck?
like would you want to like get a car that Chip Foose painted and said, "We could do this better than Chip Foose can paint"?
She said a Cybertruck. I want to wrap a Cybertruck.
If it ever comes out.
Is that because it would look cool or because it's it's gonna be incredibly easy because it's by
Everything is
Tesla?
flat. It's like everything is flat. I think it'd be fun. It'd be a monster. I think they're bigger than wider than the G wagons. Those things are originally when it came from factory. They changed the dimensions.
Mm-hmm.
They made it smaller to fit a regular garage door. So I know I haven't seen one in person. When we went to LA, we wanted to go to the museum, but it was fucking closed because of COVID. So we haven't had the chance to see one in person. But we had McLarens here, but McLarens I would not take off a window, any type of sensors, because you need to recalibrate and bring them back to the dealer. Or you just don't like McLarens at all.
So that's a car you won't work on.
I would tell the customer, you know what, I'm not gonna do this for your own good.
That's respectable, man.
I mean, this door.
There's a lot of people that would just do it, and even if they were going to do a crack job, you know what I mean? Like
Teslas, you're not supposed to wrap Teslas with chrome. But if you throw money at another shop that will do it, I'll do a Tesla all day long. Not worth it.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna come back and bite you in the ass.
I've seen a chrome Tesla around here, and there's a Pink Floyd Tesla that's rolling.
I've seen that,
I've seen that
yes.
one a few, and the
Everywhere.
vinyl's coming off.
How things been forever? The thing's been out forever. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it around like for maybe about 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
Have you refused work to
All the
someone's
time.
car?
Oh yeah.
Why?
Anything. If their attitude, if they're rude to us, we here. I'm not proud of this, but I'm here for over 12 hours. A lot of times I don't like saying that, but I'm glad that one, I found my wife. I have my wife with me. We're together 24/7. When I tell you that we're together 24/7, she knows when I'm in the bathroom. We have 2 kids. They're watching TV or they're playing or whatever the case is. We're together all the time. So we're here 12 hours and a customer comes in and starts yelling. I'm like, step out, get out, close the door nicely.
Well, besides their attitude, it could also be like the condition of the vehicle. If it's too old or too rusty, or it's just gonna be, we see there's gonna be just too much work to even prep it, to even get the vinyl on it. Like, it's not worth it.
We have people buying vehicles from CarMax. Be like, hey, vehicle is wrapped. How much would you charge me to remove it? Well, I'm like, send me pictures. The only way I can see it is I'm not gonna give a quote over the phone unless I see pictures or see the vehicle in person. They stop by, we see the vehicle, it's all cracked. I'm like, it's gonna cost you an arm and a leg. It's easier to buy a brand new hood than remove, the existing vinyl on the hood. A lot of people, a lot of shops will throw chemicals. What for? They're gonna damage the paint. It's gonna take forever to remove the vinyl, or the vehicle is rusted. We don't do body work. It's small, PDR. Removing dents, sure, why not? Removing taillights, replacing handles, sure, small stuff, yeah. But we don't paint. We don't do body work. So a lot of times we tell them straight up, it's actually cheaper. Either walk away, or
go get it painted.
Yeah, go get it painted. A lot of times it's grills like
The
this.
grills, yeah.
This vehicle is replacing the grill. It's cheaper to buy a new grill than having us wrap a grill.
How did you guys navigate through COVID? You said you had mentioned you went to Los Angeles. Did you say California to go to that museum, but it was closed due to COVID? How did you guys, as a business, navigate through COVID and keep going on?
Honestly, I think it was just a blessing at the time, because even right before even COVID happened, we even had a year, right? Not a year. Oh no, right?
Okay.
We didn't have the shop for a year yet open.
Yeah, we did. It's because we had 2 locations.
Okay.
We got the powder coating location when COVID happened, and this shop was giving everything for the powder coating shop to stay open during COVID, and that's where the mess was.
We started that. We lost an account at that time, a little bit before COVID started.
Okay.
So it was like, oh, now we really need to focus on like getting our customers and promoting and stuff like that. So we weren't getting busy at that time. So we were like, and like the bills were adding because of the other shop. So that wasn't helping. But honestly, right when COVID started, I don't know if it was because people were home, working from home, and a lot of people lost jobs, but just like they lost jobs, people were home too. So we got really busy. We were pretty busy during COVID.
Yeah,
Gosh,
I think
it's
twice as
beautiful to hear,
much.
man.
Yeah.
That's great to hear.
Yeah, it was like, and we sit here and think, I'm like, well, getting, this is not a necessity. You know what I mean? Like, if people don't have jobs or anything, like the last thing they're gonna want to waste their money on is getting a chrome delete, getting a full wrap. Like, what is that gonna do to them? If they need to put food on the table. So we were like, but then again, we're in an area where we're not in the streets. People are passing by, and it's like if they're calling us and looking for it, it's because they have the money, and and so we were busy. We were busy for a very long time. It's
And we're
really,
still
really,
busy.
yeah.
We're always busy.
It's very, 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 very rare when we don't have a vehicle in here. There's always going to be something in
We
here.
have 5 cars outside. We had the blessing of, from out of state, different places.
Out of state.
Measured-
Still during COVID?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's
You said
awesome.
it yourself. Celebrities, we're not allowed to say because of different shops. But at the end of the day, you name it, we touched a lot of vehicles. Thank God that we're still busy. And like she was saying, vinyl is not something that you need. Vinyl is something that's it's not for everyone.
It's cosmetic, and it's something that's not.
It's not a necessity. Is what
Exactly.
I would love to do it, honestly. I
I
mean,
would love for you to do it. We need the help.
I would love it on like one of my vehicles. And one thing I think is great about this is, despite wherever cars are going 5 years, 10 years, 20 years from now, they're always going to have bodies. So there's always going to be a demand for this one way or another, whether it's commercial or just people that want to show themselves off a little bit. It doesn't matter how they make them. If we're driving all EVs in 30 years, hopefully not,
I hope not.
this can still be done, because you
Yes.
prefer doing it to an EV because of its streamline anyway. So there you go. There's a business that's gonna be around forever, as long as cars are around forever.
I mean, we get customers all the time. Hey, can you wrap my fridge? I'm like, sure.
Oh yeah, sometimes we get like random
Oh,
things like that.
Not
like,
just vehicles.
Oh yeah, we've
Anything.
done like cabinets, like he said, fridge. Some guy wanted
Boats.
boats as well.
Could you wrap my electric guitar if I brought just the body?
Oh,
Yeah,
somebody
you
came back.
That'd be
too.
cool.
Yeah.
Because one of them, I would actually like to be white, but I don't want to paint it white.
You can do. I don't peel straight off.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
Connor
Maybe we'll
Thompson.
talk after this. It'll make kind of cool.
With Connor tabs that look like marble.
Dang.
That'd be awesome.
Dude, that is so wicked that you could just, code everything. I mean, I'm sure Conor McGregor, he has that yacht, and it's, I believe it's, I don't want to mess it up. I think it's a Lamborghini yacht, and he has it wrapped with, like, the Louis Vuitton or Versace. And I'm like, damn, that's just,
That would be.
to see something, I mean, to do something like that, that's nuts.
We get 2-3 requests about private jets. Problem with private jets is there's a special vinyl that needs to be regulated. If it's not regulated, it needs to be perforated. But it's minimal. You can't see them unless they're right on your face. Imagine he gets into an accident. He gets into an accident because you wrapped it wrong. I'm like, fuck that. Not worth it.
Yeah, they take everything into consideration, planes for sure.
Yeah, because they make you
Too many
liable.
sensors. Yeah.
Yeah.
Too many sensors. I mean, again, you're gonna do a wrap on a jet, and not even the whole thing, just graphics. So yeah,
Have you guys done garage doors?
we done before for Iron Gate. It was just once. I think it came off the same day. It was more for a show, I guess.
Oh, okay. So speaking of show, you guys have been to an auto show, or have you guys promoted in that way at all?
We
We have like twice, I think.
Oh, nice.
A couple times.
yeah, we did a few vehicles that were at the auto show in McCormick Place.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Are you doing it this coming year?
I don't know, but this was through a different company. We
Okay.
did a few vehicles. We found out that they were there, and we did the wrap. But like local shows, yes, we do a lot of local shows. When COVID happened? The first show that opened up when COVID happened.
Yes, but I don't know how they did that because at the end of the day, it was like a couple hours in, and like the fire department and cops showed
'Cause they were
up and
revving
kicked everybody out. Like I think because of the safety, like people weren't keeping distance and they weren't wearing masks, and all that stuff back then. So they literally kicked us out. And then the other one we did was, what was it called? The show, World of Wheels or
I think it was World of Wheels last year.
something like that.
We just haven't had time to go. I mean, I still think that it's in May because somehow we're about to be in October. We're in October already. So.
Well, you're busy,
Yeah.
When she was working at Chipotle, she would make fun of me. She's like, "How can you not know what day it is, what time it is? We're here every day." And she's like, "Now I understand because we're here all day, every day, most of the time. It's difficult."
So, did you ever work on cars until you teamed up with your husband?
Oh no, I didn't know anything. I didn't know nothing.
Or dating, I met her. Replaced the headliner on my E46.
That's how you two met.
No.
Oh no, we go.
Oh, we go back to E32.
Way back.
No, my parents met his parents. Our parents were like friends. Like I knew of him, but I didn't know him. Like
That sounds like something from the first 48.
Yeah.
Right there. I don't know him.
Our parents
know
known
of
each
him,
other
though.
for over 16, 17 years, and they told me straight up, don't mess it up. Their friendship is really, they know each other because of church. So yeah, ever since.
But yeah, the only reason why we came across was because his car got pulled over.
My
He had no
E46.
license.
Okay.
He got towed. So they needed somebody that had a driver's license to get it out. And so I was like, okay. My mom called. She was like, "Can you go do this favor?" And I'm like, "Okay." And so I went, and I had to drive it out the lot too. Like I couldn't just like get it on. Here's the keys. No, I had to drive it out. And then from there, he just reached out. But I also tell him, "Mom, it's your fault," because he said to go instead of somebody else or
So
herself.
You got pulled over a missing headlight or something?
I had HIDs, the purple ones.
Yes.
There were purple HIDs, and I guess Glenda Heights, they're just assholes.
Yeah.
We got pulled over for headlights when there's crime going on in Chicago, and they bother you for headlights for tints.
So did you write the company and say, because of your product, I got in legal trouble, but I met my wife? Here's the wedding invitation. That your product changed my life. I have a family now.
Honestly.
I should have.
That's a big thing with law
Yeah.
enforcement. They're worried about the wrong things. Yeah, big time.
Look at everything that's going on over there, and
Every time I get pulled over, I'm guilty. I'm never wondering what I did. I
Just comply.
yeah, not complete. Well, I have a
Well, you weren't
procedure.
complying until you were pulled over, I guess.
This could be a whole other podcast, but I have a procedure every time I pull over. Windows down, interior lights on, engine off.
saying,
Yeah, radio off. You know, I make sure my fly's closed. You know, because like I got a little pee bottle in the glove box. I got a little Gatorade bottle. You know, so it's like, yeah, I got to.
That's gross.
It works.
That's disgusting.
Dude, it's great. I don't have to get out of the car for like 8 hours.
Yeah,
So
until you forget.
raunchy.
Until you forget.
That's so raunchy. It's so out of pocket.
It's even worse when I realize that bottle starts smelling like my mother. So,
Oh, man.
Oh my God.
yeah, weird
Yeah.
things you figure out later on.
man.
So yeah, I mean, I get pulled over often. I think maybe 3 times this
the
year.
Prius.
I got pulled over in the Prius for like missing a not missing a headlight, but another one that got wrecked. Someone crashed into me actually, and the headlight would turn off after 20 minutes because it wasn't the bulb. There's something inside the lens that had to be changed, and I just didn't change it. In fact, I didn't even give that car long enough to get an oil change. And then I got pulled over, and I was doing Uber at the time, and I had a person in the back of the car. Like he was intoxicated. That guy was actually yelling at the officer, which was pretty funny.
Oh
It was
my God.
the guy was saying, "You can't pull us over. This is private property." It was really funny actually. And then the officer's like, "Where are you taking this guy?" I'm like,
Home.
Like I was
Hopefully.
literally in the parking lot of the bar he was going to. I was like, "This guy's literally going 200 feet that way." Like, "Sir, you can leave." "No, I'm not leaving him. He's a good man." I'm like, and then me and the officer looking at each other like, "Yeah, I have to deal with this." And then he was like, "Just, you promise to fix it?" I'm like, "I'm probably gonna get rid of this car, dude." I'm always honest.
Just tow it.
Yeah, I was like, "Here, take my fob."
Just
you
take
it. So. I don't know. At least I've learned that honesty always keeps me out. But I always tell them to search the car too. I never have anything that I'm not supposed to. I mean, I don't. Not saying everyone does, but yeah,
Right.
search the car. I don't care. Go ahead. I was like, maybe you'll find my vice grips. They're gonna
Hey, you want my 10 mil?
yeah, exactly.
They're gonna find your pee bottles. What they're gonna find.
The pee bottle's in the glove box.
That's not
No,
okay.
I don't roll.
Dude, I'm still stuck on that.
Dude, it does get stick. It
It's
does get stickier.
unsettling. It's unsettling to think about.
Dude, I don't roll around with piss. I dump that out the window when I'm done.
Oh, God.
While you're driving.
Yeah, I mean, I learned to like
Put
say.
it on someone's rap. Whatever. Guess it doesn't matter.
I learned something about dumping piss while driving recently. So this is what you have to do. If you're going 60 miles per hour, say this is the top open.
Yeah.
Do it like this. You know, so the wind catches the pee like that. My girlfriend taught me this one because she used to do it.
Car?
Huh?
How about you just don't pee in your car?
Dude, it's a lot of fun to do it while driving. Just
No.
like. Yeah, be sure to get the Gatorade bottle, you know, because the Ice Mountain hole isn't big enough for your little dolphin head to go in.
No. I'm never peeing in the bottle like that.
want to
unless
make
it's,
sure
like,
you're not
absolutely
Ubering.
necessary.
Yeah, don't Uber
unless
with
it's
me.
absolutely necessary. Like unless I'm at stand, I would still probably just get out the car
Yeah.
for sure.
Well, sometimes you can't. I mean, like I drive everywhere,
pulling
so
over,
like,
brother.
You ever get pulled
Finding
over?
a tree. No, I said I'm pulling over, brother, or in the shoulder lane or something. You know, just
I don't want the ticket.
corner style it.
I don't want to be on the sex offender list
No.
because I had too much coffee.
I guess you only do it inside of. I guess you have to be certain. You know, you have to be near some kids to do that. They don't just throw you on that list.
my
you
windows-
pulled over for indecent exposure. You don't just throw it on the.
My windows are wrapped. I have tints,
right.
so that helps. But I would do it with no tint. I wouldn't care.
Yeah, you seem like it.
My lady would get annoyed if I do it at a gas station. Like, you couldn't walk 20 feet. I'm like, why do I have to walk? The bathroom's right here.
Crazy. But so you guys, speaking of like, you know, riding around in your car or traveling, when you guys traveled, do you usually go by car, by plane, and what's the you mentioned even on the phone like yesterday or the day before, you were saying you and your wife like to travel a lot. Where's your favorite place?
Honestly, anywhere at this point.
Anywhere
I'm like,
but here.
anywhere but here. I'm like, we're here all day, every day. I'm like, we need to just get out of here, step away, especially with the kids. I'm like, we need to do something. But we're always trying to go. I mean, we've been to Mexico, California,
I think that the
Florida.
3-year-old he traveled more than I did in my
man.
30-something years that I had.
Yeah.
Yeah, we go to Mexico.
It is kind of a mission to go and take these trips because obviously we have the shop, so it's like we need to get these cars out of here on time so we can leave. And if we have cars in here, we gotta make sure that there's enough, time between we're leaving and coming back so like they can have their car back on time. So it is kind of like a mission and like trying to plan everything. Like, okay, if we're taking this, we gotta make sure we're not booking anything, or if we have something that we're gonna have enough time when we come back to work on it and finish it. So it is kind of like I said, a mission to try to leave the shop for a couple days.
We get people asking all the time, hey, when is your next opening? I'm like, we don't have anything until 2 months from now. I'm like, that's fine, put me down. And when it comes to tints, vinyl, a vehicle like this, just don't ask me. This vehicle is a nightmare. It takes forever. We had this thing. There's a lot of shops that would not touch a vehicle if it's not worth it. I agree 100%. But at the same time, a vehicle like this, it takes time. I tell my customers, it takes time. It's time consuming. And there's another shops that be like, oh, I can wrap your vehicle in 2-3 days. I'll be ashamed to tell you that. I'll be ashamed to tell you I have it done in 3 days. It takes a week. Even if you do commercial, it takes a week to do it properly. If there's 6 of them,
even sometimes longer because we'll come across something that was not planned.
I was just not in the
she
not
broke
in the
a mirror.
blueprint.
She
Yeah.
broke a mirror last week.
Yes, I did. On a
Way to
Mercedes.
put her out there, man.
On a
No,
Mercedes.
on a
Well,
Mercedes.
It happens.
they're
It's true,
accidents
right,
and it
yeah.
happens. And, these are things that, like, as a business owner, like, you need to, also take in consideration that we can get, come across. And, like, I was wrapping a mirror on a Mercedes, and, like, I need to wrap the inside, so I'm moving, like, the mirror. And, like, I don't know what I was thinking. I pressed on both corners, and, well, obviously it cracked right in the middle.
Oh.
So here, Irving's over here, like, and like when something happens, I'm like, we gotta fix it right now, because if this car needed to go the same day, so I'm like, we need to come up with a plan. So Irving's like calling, and like the mirror just itself was like just a mirror, like $200,
Just the glass.
just the glass.
So we're calling different places. We have friends that work at Mercedes dealerships that were not in that day. But I'm like, you know what? Whatever. Just call it
So
in.
then we need to tell a customer, I'm like,
What do you prefer?
We came across this, like, we need to fix it. We're gonna take care of it, but we're not gonna have it until like almost in a week.
So you would say you guys work well under pressure then, because to have that, for you to break the mirror, assess it, get past it immediately, work with the customer, that speaks volumes.
Yeah, we try to do everything up front and like stuff like that. It's like, well, you can't really hide it if they're gonna come pick it up the same day.
Yeah,
It's
you
like,
don't want to be
we're
known
gonna-
for that
We're
either.
gonna keep
Yeah.
a car here for a week for a job that takes hours. Like, no. So it's like, yeah, it's really like, ugh, like inconvenience. Trying to call him like, I broke your mirror. Like,
I told him straight up. He called me at 7 p.m. He's like, hey, I stopped by around 5. I'm like, yeah, I was out looking for your mirror. And he's like, what do you mean, my mirror? I'm like, you didn't get my message? He's like, no, my phone was there. I'm like, oh, by the way, I broke your mirror. I'm like, do you want to pick it up today or are you going to pick it up tomorrow? Let me just get the mirror. And he's like, no, I got stuff to do. So he ended up coming back 3-4 days later. We had the mirror. We swapped the mirror. And yeah.
Yeah.
good.
Everything was fine, yeah, because you're taking that accountability. That's major in business too. You got to have that accountability.
You see, that reminds me of something that happened at the body shop that I used to work at, because it was 80% BMWs. If something like that happened, they would do something shady. And it was Perillo, by the way. If say we broke a mirror, take one off another customer's car that was waiting on parts, and then order the mirror. But luckily, I mean, there was like literally 70 cars there, and they were all kind of similar.
Again, been doing vinyl for over 11 years, you're able to see what the problem. Why is it lifting? Why is it peeling? Was the fault on
or
us,
bubbling,
on the vehicle, or on the material? If it's on the customer, it's because your shit is fading. But stop taking it to the car wash. Stop taking cheap car washes. That's
or
why
you're
it's
putting
fading.
chemicals on it.
Yeah,
that
don't
you
put chemicals.
shouldn't.
Don't wash it with chemicals. He was lifting because of what? Prepping, vinyl, us, or the material. It ended up the material being defective. We called it in. The manufacturer was like, "Yeah, you're not the only one complaining about this batch. I'm glad you caught on." I'm like, "Well, yeah. What about my time? We gotta redo the whole thing." But anyways, long story short, we had to redo a quarter panel. That's what happened
Oh yeah, on a Range Rover.
on a Range Rover. So
And I'm prepping it like any other thing, right? Like spraying alcohol on it, wiping it down, and then like as I'm doing something else, Irving's like, "What happened here?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Yeah, look,
What
it's
do you
like
mean?
cracking." So he sprays like an alcohol on the tail light, and it's just cracking. The thing is just like cracking like spider webs, and it's just more and more and more and more to the point where it actually like a part of the plastic like pops out.
let me
we're
know if
like,
you want to see it in person.
Oh my god. And I'm like, what is this? And like they were gonna pick it up, I don't know, maybe like in 2 days or so. And so I'm like, it's a Range Rover. It's not something that you can like order on Amazon because you don't know what kind of lights they have. So if I'm just replacing one, it could be like the lights are off.
Yeah.
It's not gonna have the same LED or whatever it has. So I'm like, nope, we're gonna have to find an OEM on this. But it was something that like we don't learn until it happens. Who would have thought that alcohol was gonna do that to a taillight?
Or Chargers have the cheap plastic. Only a specific year came out with the Charger, 20-something, 2020, I think.
So if you have a problem with somebody with a Land Rover or a Charger, spray their taillights with alcohol.
New Teslas on the headlights, yeah.
Okay, good pranking advice. For vandalism advice, tune into
they
us.
start cracking all of a sudden.
It looks like you literally grabbed it and you threw it against the wall, the floor. Like that's how bad it was. I'm like, oh my god! Like we've dealt with Range Rovers and it's never happened. I'm like, I don't know what happened. I really don't know.
So it's that specific model.
We even had to go to the cameras. I'm like, we need to it had to be there already.
And
I'm
she
like,
went
it
like
had
this.
to be there.
She just went like this with the yellow towel,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden, the crack.
I couldn't imagine.
I learned recently if you want to mess with someone's wheels, spray them with carburetor cleaner. The paint will come right off.
Or
Okay, don't
We-
get
I did that with my own vehicle.
see, when
Last
we
week,
had the powder
on
coating
purpose.
shop, we have weights. When they piss you off, if you find out who the person is, just put weights on their wheels. It's gonna go. That's something you're never gonna find out. But hey, there's people that are in that.
Or put zip ties on the drive shaft.
See, that's just me.
That's going too far.
I'm not trying to kill people.
Or I used to put coins in hubcaps. Yeah, like on cars that had like the dog dish hubcaps.
Oh.
Like someone had a Crown Vic, had a P71, and yeah, you drive you. What's this? It sounds like it was a lawnmower built by Fisher Price, going down the road with the poppy balls.
When we were on the phone the other day, you were mentioning like you spend a lot of time with the family, and you guys like you go home and play video games. What's your favorite one to play? I love video games.
Here, I have
Call of Duty
this
Oh.
matching tattoo. She has a matching one.
on my leg.
Oh, okay.
She has a matching one. So we have matching tattoos. We love video games. We play Call of Duty a lot.
You play the new one, like Warzone
Yeah.
and everything.
Yeah.
Like, oh
Yeah,
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 I think the third
That's
one's
my,
coming out.
that's my shit right there.
Yeah.
I already got the new one on pre-order, the Vault Edition. I'm ready.
No, we play a lot. When I tell
Yeah,
you a lot,
that's our thing. We go home, we're like, okay, we take care of the kids, we got,
put them to sleep.
the dogs, whatever, and then it's like, all right, that's like our kind of escape.
That's your
you know?
getaway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
When I
that's-
tell you that we play a lot, like we play hardcore. When I tell you,
it's-
we have a screen projector,
Mhm.
so it's not a tiny TV. No, it's she's bottom, I'm bottom, half of the screen.
Yeah.
And we're playing video games. You're always gonna see us, the top two, on every match that we play.
Yeah, that's how I am too.
So we
Nice.
play video games for.
What do you got?
hours.
Xbox or PlayStation?
PlayStation.
Okay. Yeah, we got to get together. I'm PlayStation for sure, dude.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
We'll play. I can play. I'm bad at war. I'm a bad dude.
Yeah.
I'm a bad dude at Warzone. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I'm being so serious. I'm pretty damn good. I'm ready to like murk people the second
There
I
you
get
go.
home from work.
I like to see
all the
that.
time.
That's it, yeah.
It's the best decompress ever.
Yeah.
It's so immerseful if you got like the headphones or if it's
Yeah.
turned up. Like it's just, it's the best.
She started with zombies because zombies don't shoot back.
Yeah,
Yeah,
zombies
I like
is the
zombies,
shit.
yeah.
I did every Easter egg on that one that came out like with the old pass. when they had all like
With
7
the
or 10 maps.
staves?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I did all the Garad Crovey, the one with the dragon, going to each station. Yeah, I did every Easter egg for that
You
one.
gotta feed all the heads.
Where you have to. Well, no, you end
All
up
the
fighting
dogs?
the clone Nikolai.
Okay.
Yeah, at the end, it's pretty crazy.
I never finished them.
Yeah.
They're huge.
They're-
take forever. Take hours.
It took me 4
If not
hours
days.
playing, like straight. I had to play it for 4 hours just to get to the boss. It's intense.
No,
get lost.
See, that's why I married her. When it comes to, she was able to help me out with the cars. As soon as she said,
Like
I'm like,
video
that's it,
games,
that's it.
they travel a
He
lot.
has a whole arcade over there.
Yeah, I
he
noticed
doesn't
that.
even. We can't. He doesn't use it because it's working. But like, yeah,
you
he's
need
got
that
one at the
time
house
sometimes.
too. A what do you call
I got a
it?
crazy taxi arcade where you sit with the steering wheel.
Taxi. That's the shit.
I know someone that made one, like an actual car, like a '63 Ford Galaxy convertible, and he's in Pennsylvania.
He made it look like the crazy taxi too.
Yeah,
With the cluster and
it's a
whole dash.
shit.
YouTube channel called Regular Car Reviews. He did it this year. He's a big fan of Crazy Taxi. I was like, I guess you can only play 2 songs out of your radio, 2 Offspring songs. But
Dude, who cares? That game was a instant
Yeah.
classic.
it looks really good. It was wrapped. It was wrapped to do that, especially the checker on the side.
the side.
Yeah. I'll send you the link or whatever. You too. You'd probably like it.
I played the arcade one, but I mainly had it for Dreamcast.
Yeah.
When that was popular.
I had it too.
I had a Dreamcast forever. And Crazy Taxi, yeah, that was my shit. It took me back.
Yeah, the throttle and the brake were like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was just, Dreamcast, I liked it. But it just...
I still have mine.
I said on my Nintendo.
Oh, do
Yeah,
you?
my Super Nintendo. Yeah, they're
Original?
gonna learn with the Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
They're gonna learn.
Kid's gonna learn
Hey,
today.
Yeah.
Well,
If
he's
they
got
have
the
their
tattoo of the
time-
mushroom.
If
Yeah.
they
From
have
Mario.
their time on video games and cars, they're not gonna have money for drugs.
That's awesome.
They're
That's
not
an
gonna have
awesome...
money for anything but
Well, not only that, but that's just an awesome way of looking at parenting. Like what you guys have built so far, and you talk about your business. It's always busy. It thrives through COVID, really. So and like what he said as well, as long as cars are around, you guys have a place.
Yeah.
So how does it feel to where you guys have built this like little legacy to where you could hand down to your children one day?
It's awesome.
If they're into it.
I think it's pretty awesome seeing like. You would have asked me like 5 years ago if I see my site here. I'm like, absolutely not. Especially now with cars, because I didn't know anything about it. My thing was like probably helping my dad, open his on welding. But as far as this, like no, like when I made the decision to like quit Chipotle, he's like, I think it's ready because he had like 5 slingshots,
Oh wow.
to wrap. That's how it all started.
Oh, wow.
He had like 5 slingshots to like wrap, and he's like, I need to get these done. Like I need your help. And like I was manager, I forgot what it was, almost general manager, apprentice. So I was doing like 40, 50 hours a week, and I would just come home like exhausted. And he's like, no, I need your help. Like, come on. I'm like, okay, if I'm quitting, like, that's it. Like, I'm quitting,
It's all in.
Yeah, so.
Was a slingshot tedious to do?
Oh my
the
God.
worst ones. Yeah.
Yeah, I would
Yeah,
imagine.
no.
Versus something like this. I mean, even though this is labor intensive too, but
I think those are the worst ones. We try to stay away from bikes and slingshots. Those
That
are
was my
tedious.
next question. Do you guys do?
We do
have you
bikes.
done motorcycles?
Yeah.
But they're pretty tedious.
Again, if the
Besides.
bike is black, sure. But if you're going from a drastic change, the bike is pink and you want it blue, there's pink that's gonna show.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you go beyond. If you go beyond, you could take 4 hours on one panel. That sounds stupid. But let me tell you, if you tell somebody, hey, spend 4 hours on one panel and you want it done, you want to wrap for $40, it's not gonna
And yeah,
work.
there's people that just do
$40.
bikes. People that just do bikes, and they do a very great job. But we don't really even have a lot of people come in here asking about bikes or anything like that. We probably have had like 5, if not, right?
Yeah, we
Most.
try not to. I try not to.
Yeah.
It's not worth it. A lot of times it's easier to tint a whole vehicle than to wrap a bike. You
Right.
can have a bike for 2-3 days, and when you already did 2-3 vehicles on tints a day.
right.
So it's not necessarily because we don't want to, but because of the customer does not understand.
Right. I have tints on one of my cars, 5%, and that took like an hour and a half.
Well, we have a plotter, so what we do is we type in year, make, and model. It cuts the windows perfectly for us.
Oh, nice.
We
Perfect.
clean the windows, going back to prep work. We prep all the vehicle, and then shrink everything and then install. So he saves time when it comes to tinting.
That's interesting technology. I was unaware of that.
There's no need for a lot of shops cut on the glass. What for? You're gonna damage a glass. You're gonna cut the glass. We had vehicles. I'm like, we don't do that. We're gonna avoid your headache.
That's great. That's good. Efficient.
Yeah. That's actually what our goal was from the beginning. He was actually working for a tint shop, and he's like, we can just do this. And so that's where it started. We ordered the plotter, and we're like, we'll just do tints. I mean, he was doing tints for I don't know how many years at that point, and like he had it all down already. And then he shifted to vinyl, and so we weren't even doing tints. So
vinyl was the whole thing, from the beginning. Because I think the most expensive vehicle they brought into my mom's garage was a 911, a $200,000 911 into her garage. I'm like, I'm doing vinyl here, kind of. It was an association that people were not happy with having few vehicles lined up. So I think that day, one of our really good customers, he's like, I called him. I'm like, hey, can you actually move your car? Because we get the shop today. Can you bring it to the shop? He's like, I'm not in. Take it yourself. Drive it yourself. So we drove the car here to the shop the first day. But we were focusing on just vinyl and tints until we had a chance to do the second shop for powder coating. But when COVID happened, we find out that she was expecting. The other kid was on the way. I'm like, you know what? For our own good, let's just step away from it.
Okay.
And then we didn't know much when we did it. We kind of rushed into it. So there was a lot into powder coating, like when it comes to also like safety, like the fire department and stuff like that.
That was not on us. They were just assholes.
Well,
That was not on us.
Addison police and fire department.
That was not on us.
Well, no, but they came to us and
they're still assholes.
Okay.
Come on. Hey, look, I have two shops. You think I'm gonna mess something up? I'm doing everything by the book.
Right.
And then the police department comes in. You're doing this wrong. No, I'm not. Everything is by the book. It's this apart. Everything is there. I cannot afford to mess up. They were just being assholes.
Why even take the risk? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Makes no sense.
Like we had to build a whole room in there for like the acid. Like it was like a whole thing. Like we were trying to do everything the right way from the beginning. But
I'm gonna tell the story. There's a guy coming into the building, and then my landlord calls her. He's like, "Where are you?" I'm like, "I'm working." She's like, "Where?" I'm like, "I'm at the vinyl shop." I'm like, "Come in, come back to the powder coating shop." So I go to the powder coating shop, and then we were to watch Monsters Inc. with a bunch of people dressed in hazmat suits and yellow suits. There was like 5 of them, and then there's like 6, 7 police officers standing on the back. They had the whole street closed down, firefighters, ambulance, and all this stuff. And then I remember perfectly because so the fucking chief has the nerves to come in. And he laughs at me. He's like, "Look who came in." I'm like, "I don't know what's going on." They forced themselves into the shop. They open up the door, and
it smelled like
it smelled pretty bad. I'm like, "No shit, that's what a powder coat shop smells like." There's nothing wrong with the smell. Well, somebody called it in. I'm like, who called it in? Because I'm not doing anything wrong. It's my business. I decide if I work at 3 a.m., at 4 a.m., at 1 p.m. I decide when to work. As you can see, we don't advertise, so I work on my own hours. So they decide to come in, and they forced everything, and you see these fuckers, the fire department coming in with a fucking axe, and they hit a bed on a 22 pickup truck. Now I'm liable for that. I'm telling who's gonna pay for that, because I'm not. The fire department did. So when that happened, they were just throwing shit at me. You doing this? You throwing acid on the floor, on the sewer? I'm like, do you know how expensive acid is? What makes you think I'm gonna throw everything on the street?
So that was the reasoning that they thought we were throwing acid on the floor, and then they thought somebody was dead in the shop because nobody answered.
I was just about to say that next. Like when you said like people were complaining about the smell. I'm like, damn man, I wonder if somebody thought there was a dead body roasting in here.
The problem is that they broke in, they messed up one of the vehicles I had.
Oh man.
And then they started blaming me of throwing acid into the sewer because, again, you work at a body shop, I'm a mechanic shop. Guess what? It's been pouring for the past 2 weeks. You're gonna see shit, water
The
puddles
sheen, yeah.
on the water. Even you go to the gas station, it's completely normal from all the oil, all the residue that's left on the street, on the ground.
Without a doubt.
So they're telling me this, and then the dumpsters, there's rust. What do you expect? It's a dumpster. So they're blaming, they're pointing fingers at us, and you have five firefighters, you have 5 cops. I'm like, you know what? You guys are getting on my nerves. Come on, I'll show you guys.
Really paying this.
We opened that with the acid room. I'm like, it smells bad. It's acid. It's completely normal, but we wear masks. I'm like, if it wasn't safe, you think I wouldn't shove my hand? And I shoved my whole hand into the.
Like, we showed him the process. Like, first it goes into the acid and into water and then another water. So, like, that's how we, like, dilute it with.
Baking soda neutralizes the acid. So I'm like, if you think it's not safe, you think I will shove my hand. I'm going like this with my hand for like 40 seconds. I'm like, are we on the same page? Okay, can we move on?
I'm not deteriorating.
Exactly. And then they finally left. I'm like, okay, who else didn't see this? Because I'm not gonna repeat this.
Yeah.
I'm like, I hate that Addison, everybody from the police department and the fire department made it impossible for us. So I'm like, you know what? You guys are making it fucking impossible for us to work properly. And they called fire cam, whatever you call it.
The environmental
company
EPA.
for them to clean.
It all started because where we were at, it's just a bunch of like mechanical body shop work there.
And we're only the few people that were actually doing everything by the book.
And they had some barrels of oil
Just sitting.
somewhere in the corner or something like that. And they were, I don't know
They were pointing
how.
fingers
They
at
were
us.
just, I guess,
They were
pointing fingers at us. So
And
I
then,
don't know.
and then again, it pissed me off because they had to call EPA. They called everybody just to come in and clean. They made us pay $5,000 just to clean this shit up.
Yeah, then they strong arm you into we're the
And
only
they
ones
told
that
us
can clean it.
you're not able to open. I'm like, are you gonna pay my
Yeah,
bills?
we couldn't open it.
So while we're still
ridiculous.
working after hours, I have to pay my shit.
So it was like Ghostbusters. Like, yeah.
Take it
You
all.
shut this down, shut that down.
It was really
My friend, don't be a dick.
It was really tedious because we tried, and they were making it impossible for us.
Yeah. And the landlord wasn't helping at all. And
Landlord was
we
still an asshole.
all because of the what do you call the sprinklers, whatever.
Sprinkler system.
Needed to get updated. Something he had to pay, and it was like, whatever. Like,
And then at the end of the day, to this day, they call me, oh, you still owe $2,500 to the fire department because we came in with an ambulance. I'm like, well, who the fuck called you? I'm like, whoever called you,
We thought there was a
not
body.
me.
yeah.
They
I'm
were
like, you guys
hoping there
gonna
was
pay
a
for
body.
everything? No, so when we found out she was expecting, I'm like, let's step away from the shit show. I know I can do powder coat. I know I can do the wheels. I know I can do it myself. I don't need to prove anybody. But for my own safety, when it comes to mental health and my family, I just want to step away from it. I don't want drama. I want to be able to have my kids and the wife and be able to just do our own thing.
That's awesome.
So again, Addison, they're assholes.
So, you guys, play video games. You guys spend time on Netflix?
Yes.
Yeah. What's your favorite show?
I
True
think,
crime?
I think no. I think we watched every Marvel movie in sequential order to make sure we didn't miss anything.
Oh man.
It took us what?
Netflix?
2 weeks, 3 weeks.
But as in Netflix.
That was this thing.
Yeah, that was Disney.
Sorry.
Netflix.
I mean, they're all streaming. So I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, you guys obviously binge or follow certain streaming services.
I don't know, like Stranger Things. We watch a lot of things. So like Stranger Things, Supernatural.
I gave up on Stranger Things after
Did you?
like 2 seasons.
Oh,
And
it's really good.
my wife was like, "It's so great if you just keep
Yes.
watching." I'm like,
I think we had to
Yes.
watch the first episode
It's
like 4
messing with me.
times.
Yes.
Really?
I've
The
never
first-
seen it.
Couldn't get into it.
It was
No?
good. The first season was great.
I'm not opposed. I just haven't seen it.
Right.
What
I
about
don't know what the plot is. What's the plot? Seriously, I have no idea.
It's pretty hard to describe, but I know the first season it was about this boy, and it's not written by Stephen King, but it's got a real Stephen King kind of vibe, and it's about this little boy. He gets like pulled over to this kind of I would say parallel
Another dimension.
world, right? Another dimension. That's the premise, and it's about trying to get him back. But he's communicating through like lights, and everyone thinks his mom's crazy.
Yeah.
The mom like starts seeing the lights flicker, and then she puts together it's the song that he used to sing, And that was the whole first season. Like I said, I only watched maybe the first season, maybe half the second season, and I was kind of over it.
So it's a remake of Alice in Wonderland.
No.
Hey, I know that movie.
They didn't fall into the rabbit hole.
No, by no means. This was a little boy. It was like I said. It's got a real Stephen King vibe. Like, I mean, obviously, no one's. He's the GOAT when it comes to writing books. But Netflix is about to raise their prices again.
I know.
Again, it is
sharing
ridiculous.
Accounts as well. That's stuff.
I'm glad I still go to Blockbuster.
Yeah.
It's a long drive to Alaska, but
there's
I
only
get
one
it done.
left. There's only one left.
Yeah, it's in
That
Alaska.
documentary, is it in Alaska?
I think so.
Yeah, we got to figure that one out. I'm not certain if it's in Alaska. I just know
was
there's
doing
only
the
one
Howard
left.
Stern show. I'm going to Google it right now
But-
while we're live.
Yeah, if Netflix gets any higher, though, I'm canceling. I
Are you-
can't do them.
Are you really?
Yeah, 100%.
What do you watch more, shows or movies?
I watch
Serious?
both. I guess I would say yeah. I'm about a 50-50 guy, but if the way I see it is if Netflix is only putting out a movie that like I'm really buying it for 1 month.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Netflix has what, like maybe 2 or 3 maybe blockbuster movies per year.
I was wrong. It's in Bend, Oregon.
Yeah, and
That's where the last Blockbuster
Yeah, I had a
is.
feeling it was not in Alaska.
No, yeah, at this point I told her, I'm like, I think we're just better off buying the movie at this point, whatever we want
Yeah.
to watch, and then we can just watch as many times as we want and not have to pay every month.
Or when you have streaming services like HBO Max.
Yes.
Like they got everything and it's only $17 as opposed to like Netflix. I mean it's $17 still, but they're already talking about raising the price just because that writer's strike is over.
Right.
Like, oh, well, we got to pay more a little bit, so
And they're not
We're gonna
even doing
charge-
anything right now.
it just ended and everyone's getting back to work. That's why they're saying they're about to raise the price. They just haven't said what they're gonna do.
Right.
A little side note, that's how the show Cops came out, because of a writer's strike in the late 80s.
Really?
Yeah, it's not scripted. They're like, oh, we'll just hire some college kids that aren't in the union yet to film with the cameras. So that's how Cops came out, because of a writer's strike.
Dang, I never knew that.
Yeah, you don't have to write that.
No. Yeah, you don't have to write cops.
Just find some scabs to edit and film, and you're good to go.
Yeah, they just ended up. They just ended up writing like the waiver, obviously, to publish their rights.
I guess so.
Well, yeah, that's what they said. Like, I was reading up on that, like, because I never knew it got done during a writer's strike, but I knew they were talking about people having to sign, so that way they could do their face, because that's why some people are blurred. So they don't sign. They don't sign. Yeah, you notice like some people are
Right.
blurred on there. Some
Yeah,
people
yeah.
will show their
I mean,
face.
have you seen that when they focus on somebody else now they unblur their face?
Immediate, yeah, they catch like their side profile.
Speaking of strikes, there's one thing I guess we should bring up that does relate to you two, I guess. Do you feel as though the UAW auto strike is going to affect your business in any way?
I think something that you mentioned earlier, where this is an industry there's always going to be people with cars. I mean, in the future, 10, 20 years, we're going to be flying cars. I would love to wrap a flying car.
Yeah.
But I think at this point, automotive industry is something that's always going to be busy, always going to be work for everybody. From mechanic work, body work, vinyl wrapping, window tints, anything. We have calls, can you tint my windshield? Can you tint my house? Can you tint my visor on my helmet? Can you tint this? Can
You
you
wrapped
tint
a
that?
fridge.
I wrapped the
That was
fridge.
so cool, man. I can't get over that. That's awesome. I would love to do that. That's such a great idea.
Yeah.
What color or what was done to wrap it? Like, I take it wasn't just made black or white.
Well, there's stainless steel brushed aluminum vinyl. There's black vinyl. There's wood type of vinyl. There's marble countertops. There's a lot of vinyl. You name it. There's cast vinyl, which is for vehicles. There's calendar vinyl, which is more for tables, for for pieces, for something that's like countertops, like you were saying. It could be anything, basically. It comes down to whatever you want to wrap.
You could wrap a cooler.
Yeah, definitely.
Because,
it's
like,
textured.
See, that would be the one thing to get yourself out of a speeding ticket. I won't say who, but someone showed me this, that they had a cooler in their car, and it said medical supplies.
Yeah, that you're working. Yeah.
So, like,
that's
you get
good
pulled
to
over
know.
going 110, like, I have to go deliver these kidneys.
You need to show paperwork, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
for
no
some
way the
reason.
cops just like checks out. They're gonna ask for something.
There was a guy I know that did that had a, I would say pre-made piss bottles, Gatorade bottle. He kept Gatorade in his cooler. He did not have kids.
Cop opens it like, this ain't kidneys, dude.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like Dumb and Dumber, just starts
This ain't-
drinking it.
Yeah, what is this? What is this? That would have been so messed up.
He got away. He got away.
Damn. Without any paperwork.
No, he actually believed him, and the guy was in a Prius too.
That matters.
Oh my God.
That seems like an honest guy drives a Prius.
No, well, I've already gone this far. I'll say it. It was the guy that set the Cannonball record for fastest solo run. And if you don't, for those that don't know what the Cannonball is,
we did his Mercedes. We did his. You know how he has a Mercedes, a silver Mercedes.
That's gonna be a different guy. I know who you're talking. You're talking about Arnie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know who it is. I know who that is. But that is a different guy. Arnie did, I think, the fastest Cannonball record. But this guy that I was talking about with the cooler, he did the fastest solo record where he didn't stop at all. Like from New York to LA, he had 2 additional gas tanks in the Prius, and he did not stop at all. Fastest solo run. And Arnie and those guys, they made the fastest record, but they stopped for fuel, I think, twice. And there's there's 3 people in the car. They could switch drivers. So this guy did it all in 30 hours nonstop driving.
That's crazy.
But yeah, you see a Prius, and he said he was transporting medical supplies. So he got pulled over, and that was like, yeah, I'm delivering this. I have to get to Los Angeles.
That's crazy.
It's like this can't wait. This can't deal with the pressure of the airplane or whatever. We can't transport organs on the airplane. That's like what it was saying.
Oh yeah, I mean it's legit. Yeah, it's legit. I guess if you're
that would do that. He would make runs. Like he was saying, there a lot of times it wasn't even worth it.
They say that is a good side hustle though. Like I was looking at that. There's people out there that'll deliver medical supplies or pharmaceutical supplies just with your personal car, like a Uber for med supplies, and you can get paid, dude. They pay you a lot because once you get contracted through a doctor specifically, and he just gives you the money to take it to different, around the area of Wisconsin, Michigan, whatever. Dude, they pay for that. I thought about doing that on the weekends.
But you always be on call. They could call you anytime, any day.
Well, I learned that, you can do that, but from what I uncovered, it's still good, but you make just as much as you would be doing Uber.
No, I don't think so. This one, dude, I looked at the pay. They're paying
Tell me.
a flat price per trip.
Yeah.
Like how much per trip?
It could be anywhere from $800 to $1,200 per trip.
Oh wow! Well, I'm gonna look into that because you're lucky to do that in a week.
I'm so serious. And you just apply on the site. I saw it. Don't believe everything you see on social media, but you do. You have there are certain doctors' offices or this website you go to. Obviously you have to go through some loopholes, just like what's that other app where you could rent out your car, Toro?
Oh, Toro.
Yeah.
Oh,
right.
I got a Toro horror story. I'll tell you about that.
So you could, you kind of go through like that. They'll make sure they vet your vehicle, they vet your driving record, because obviously you're doing this. But yeah, dude, you start moving medical supplies instead, and even if it's no matter what, it's per trip flat rate.
They ask
so if you're taking something from
as long as you can do it within a window of 3 hours.
Yes, you have to make the window. That's the thing. But they compensate you for a lot. They compensate you very well.
Maybe I'll do that more. Because the guy that had the Cannonball record with the Prius, he, on the side, he also delivered airplane parts in a hurry. Because he actually fit those in the Prius when it's folded flat. Especially kind of obscure, bulky things.
How big is this airplane?
I don't know. He didn't really get into
that part got to be huge, right?
Right. I mean, usually it'd be some engine component, not the engine, but something for the engine, or sometimes the landing tires.
That fits in a Prius.
Dude, I fit
those landing tires are huge.
I fit a Cadillac engine
when you
in my
walk
Prius
up to them.
Huh?
Those tires are huge.
Yup.
Holy shit.
Well, I guess it depends on the plane, because he didn't say it was for American Airlines. This could have been for a
Remote control.
That's what I'm saying. It better be.
Yeah, it could have been for
private little dinghy plane. Yeah,
it could have been for a crop duster for all I
Because,
know.
dude, I've seen the plane wheels up close. Even in pictures, like when you see the people directing, and
Yeah.
you see that plane wheel, that's as tall as they're standing.
Yeah.
There's no way that's
not
fitting
getting
in a Prius.
I agree. I agree.
That's insane.
Maybe on the roof.
The weight doesn't crush it.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, airplane supplies was what he was doing.
Dang.
But yeah, I think medical supplies are the way to go.
What's your Toro horror story? What was it- what were you trying to say?
When I worked at a body shop, I mean, I guess you guys can. This kind of flows into your industry.
Mm-hmm.
Someone had a wrecked BMW M4. It wasn't wrecked too bad, but clearly somebody had General Lead it and jumped it. The renter jumped it, and I guess the person's the owner of the BMW's insurance would not cover it because they didn't tell him that they were renting the car out to Toro. So, and then the guy.
How long ago was this?
3.5 years ago.
Dude, I'm fucking new. I'm so old on Toro. I just found out about Toro this last week.
Really?
I swear to
Really?
God, I'm not even kidding. I swear to God, I never knew Toro. My boy at work was like, yeah, I Toro my car around. I'm like,
The
Really?
good thing about tour is when we travel out, let's say we're going to SEMA this year, which is in November.
Awesome. I know what that is.
You're going
Are you bringing your business too?
No, we
I-
can't. Time. We need time. We need time to plan all that. They ship the vehicle, so you need time for that.
seem like the toy or the tool reveal.
No, the
It's like a big car.
SEMA show.
Oh, okay.
Thing.
SEMA show is where you go to showcase your business.
Okay.
It's not open to the public either.
Okay.
We couldn't get in. They can get in. They own a business.
Oh,
They,
all right.
They could probably get us in. We
Yeah.
would have to know somebody
Right.
to get in.
Get a little lanyard.
Yeah.
But you're only there to promote. You're not there to you don't want customers sitting in your stuff. You want to get people interested in placing orders and stuff.
Yeah, no. Every time we go, we use Turo. The good thing about Turo is you go into LA. Okay, well, there's a car waiting for you at the airport at 3 p.m. Which is we use it for everything.
That's pretty cool.
And you can pick it, like if you want like a SRT8 Charger,
so-
you
yeah,
could.
Yeah, you pick
Yeah.
whatever cars
So
you
if
want.
you-
Like I said.
If you're planning on buying a vehicle that you want a Tesla, you say you wanted to get a Tesla,
Yeah.
rent a Tesla. For a whole week, a few days.
Toro's changing my life already.
Yeah, I would totally rent a C8 Corvette.
We became really good friends with these two kids. They're kids because whatever. But they're an Asian guy and a Mexican guy, and they had like a fleet of 20-something vehicles in Vegas. So I think 2 years ago I had to go to Vegas at least 4 times in a year. So we get really good friends with them. That hey, pick a car, whatever car you like, $20 a day.
I've never been to
20 a
Vegas.
day.
$20 a day. So
What'd
we're
you
there
pick?
for 3. The cheapest ones. Why? Because we drove to LA.
Oh.
So from Vegas to LA was only 4 hours. We had an Altima, a brand new Altima. We made it back and forth with a full tank.
Yeah. I loved my Ultima from back in the day.
Altima was
man.
really good.
But yeah, I've never been to Vegas. I've always wanted to go. Always wanted to
did
go.
you tell you made a trip over there to buy the bus?
There's a school bus outside
Mm-hmm.
that's
You
one
bought
of-
it?
That's ours. Yeah.
All
We
right.
wanted to turn that into an RV.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I want to see that transformation. Make
Take
sure
that
you
to
post
Burning
that.
Man.
That's the shit.
The shit show that they made not long ago with the videos going on. But yeah, that's one of the reasons why we went. The other kid that's sleeping, he just turned 3. He loves the bus.
Is that gonna be his first car?
I'm making fun of that. I'm making fun of that because he's about to get into
He's going to preschool.
preschool. So
I'll pick up
You
older
drop him
kids,
off
yeah.
at the bus.
I'm telling Anna, hey, let's drop him off, or let's ask him if we get a discount and we drop off kids in the bus.
That's hilarious.
Rapid school bus yellow.
Well, it is yellow. It is the original color. It's technically you need to get rid of all the words that says school.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
But it's registered under my name, and my plates are literally on RV plates. So we already did that paperwork. So it doesn't matter if I get pulled over from it's yellow. It's still registered as an RV.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
That's a great little loophole right there.
I love loopholes.
Yeah. All right.
I do. I do. Like, yeah, I mean, like, you can, like, in Chicago, here's a loophole for you. So, like, if you get like a pickup truck, maybe you know this. You probably do actually. I'd be surprised if you don't. Technically, you know, if you get like say a Duramax truck or whatever 2500 series, if you go to your DMV, like, oh, here's your B truck license plate, and you could say, no mames, I want a firefighter plate or specialty plate. Get one of those, and you could park it anywhere, like a passenger car. You could drive it on Lakeshore Drive. You could do whatever you want. Because, like, some vehicles, because I got a parking ticket before for parking my 40 Econoline in a residential street, even though I had firefighter plates. But I got in trouble because I still had the company name from 2 owners ago saying it was an electrical business. Oh, there's a company vehicle. You can't park it, like, by a house. I'm like, yeah, but the license plate was firefighter plate. So I had to, like,
Get away with the letter.
Yeah, well, that day I went to court because I fought it because I had that kind of time back then. Mm-hmm. I went there with purple hair and a Misfits shirt, and I was like, Your Honor, clearly I don't install drywall. And then they're like, well, you can't have something more than 10,000 pounds. I'm like, this thing weighs 5,500 pounds. They're like, how do you know that? I was like, I actually cursed. I didn't mean to. I was like, Your Honor, I work on this piece of shit all the time. I know the weight of it. And then he's like, you seem like a credible source. Dismissed. I'm like, okay.
Y'all do shit out here differently than Illinois, I'll tell you that. They don't fly like that in Indiana. But yeah, that's pretty cool. You were talking earlier too that you had a friend kicked out of Disney World.
Oh yeah. On the subject of Disney World. Well,
how'd that go?
I wasn't there for it, but apparently how you get kicked out of Disney World is if you have a I guess adult beverage, which I'm assuming that's what the drink was. See, the guy said he had a drink. He's trying to walk into the parking lot, and they said, "Oh, you can't walk out here with that." And it's like, okay, I guess I'll finish my beer here, or whatever. And then so it's, oh, you have to finish it in Disneyland. Like, you have to go by the gate. And so he went back in the gate, and one employee didn't see that another employee authorized him to do it. And they're like, oh, you can't be here. Like, I'm trying to leave. Mm-hmm. So I was like, you want to kick me out? Kick me out. I was like, I want my drink, though. Yeah. So apparently, I guess there was a ruckus or something. Like, I don't know what he called those guys.
I just walked out. If they would have been like, don't do that, I'd be like, all right.
I think he said they he said they called the Disneyland cadets or whatever. He's like, I was arguing with these people. They were trying to be polite. I was like, fuck you. I was like, only you would like get kicked out of Disneyland. And he's like, I'm trying to leave. You gonna kick me out? Kick me out.
Was he alone at Disneyland?
No, he had his
family with him.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a real good example there.
Yeah, but that guy in particular,
it's out of pocket.
That guy in particular, I think was, I don't know. I could see something like that happening. I mean, frankly, if I did something close, I would have finished my drink before I made it to the parking lot. Yeah. But he was trying to take it to the parking lot, so I could see that was a problem.
Yeah. So when he walked back in, though, they still wanted to kick him out, but you were leaving.
Yeah, he's like, I'm trying to leave.
But you were leaving in the first place, so why even make a scene?
Yeah, but why? I mean, you're not supposed to drink in the parking lot of Disneyland. This isn't Soldier Field.
Right, but they told him that. Then he went back in, but then they wanted to kick him out.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't he walk out?
Because they thought he was trying to get in. Right. They thought he was trying to get in for free. Because they told him that you have to drink it over there.
You know what we used to do?
Shit, what did he do? Go back fully into the fucking amusement park?
Yeah, he did.
He's just supposed to cross the threshold. That's probably what they meant, drink it.
He started drinking at the gate on the other side of the gate.
So where's his family? On the other side the whole time? They went out to the car and hung out?
No, they were just watching, pretending they didn't know the guy.
No way.
I'm serious.
Insane. I would be like, he's not my dad.
Not my dad, not my problem.
Not my dad. Mom, I'll be waiting at the car. This is embarrassing.
And he rented from Toro, too. He had a Cadillac Escalade.
All right.
Yeah.
That's a great car.
And then he's a mechanic, so he was like, the transmission was going out. I had to take it easy on it. I was like, it's a General Motors vehicle. Of course the transmission's going out.
I've had issues with the GMs and Chryslers. I'm not a fan of working on those.
Yeah, I mean BMWs to me are easier.
They're simple to work on.
Yeah, they are. They have that little porthole for
Aren't
the
they
fuel pump.
extremely expensive too, though? Or is that just a myth?
No, it's a myth, but a lot of people have that mentality that just because it's German, it's expensive to work on. But if you think about it, it could be as cheap as a domestic. It could be as cheap as a Chevy, as a Ford.
Oh,
as long
really?
as you do your own work.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
For people that do their own work, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's good to know.
But for those that don't, yeah, you might. I think you are paying a little bit more if you're paying someone to do it, simply because I mean, well, they're awesome when they work, and they work great for I think about 3 to 6 years. They're great. When that warranty's gone, I mean, modern ones. I mean, I know they have 3 batteries. Like 2 full-size ones, and yeah, he knows.
The secondary,
and 1 golf cart battery.
When we had her Range Rover before when she quit Chipotle,
Oh, she had a Range Rover?
I told her, pick a car that you like. You're about to quit.
Mm-hmm.
Pick one that you like. And back then she had a Mazda 3, so she picked a Range Rover that it's the smallest Range Rover, which is the Evoque, Range Rover Evoque. It's still really nice. Still every option you can imagine. He had 7 cameras, so you name it. We bought it with like 20,000 miles. And I'm like, you know what? Let's just go to Chipotle. Quit. Be like, hey, I'm done. So she did quit with her Range Rover. And ever since she had it, we use that to do mobile work. So we would pull up to a dealer, pull up to a customer's house, pull up to another shop on our Range Rover. I had an S4, an Audi S4 back then. And the Range Rover had warranty for 5 years. So we literally had that Range Rover for 5 years. So until the warranty expired, that's when the transfer case took a shit.
Yep.
I'm like, that's kind of fucked up. But he had the secondary battery, meaning if your secondary was acting up, then your wipers are acting up. Because everything is connected in series. Then something else is acting up. And then...
Are these all BMWs that are like that?
No, he's talking about
Or Range Rovers? Are like
most of them.
well, crossovers.
that? Okay.
Yeah, with 3 batteries. Like 2 big ones and 1 little one. You got like a golf cart battery. And
So the secondary battery, they put it in the place which is the most difficult place to reach, and which is right in front of the windshield. You need to remove the wipers. You need to remove half of the vehicle just to get into the battery. Yeah, it's a whole mess.
I would be so pissed. Like, yeah, so...
yeah,
It just makes it... It's almost like certain makes, like, they make it hard to work on.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Every vehicle has its issues. Like this Nissan, the 350Z has an issue on that year from 02 to 04, or at least that generation, where the switch goes out on the seat. So if you're too close to a steering wheel, you're gonna stay there until you wiggle the fuck out of the switch and it starts working again. The S4 that I had, the 2010 S4, had an issue where it rains. You pop the trunk and it has a little channel. You have it in every BMW, the little plastic channel that guides all the water into the trunk. So it falls into the amplifier. So every time you would turn on the vehicle, you hear the popping noise, and it would freak me out because it's a pretty expensive Bang & Olufsen system on that S4. So it would freak out. I'm like, did I just pop the speaker?
Right.
So every vehicle has something. Every fucking vehicle. We just picked up a 2022 Atlas a year ago or 2 years ago, brand new for the kids basically. And same thing, brand new, had a recall on the harness for the window. The windows just go down. Thank God it didn't happen to us. It only happened to the one that has a third row seat. We
Okay.
have a sports one, so he doesn't have a third row. So it didn't happen to us, but he still was on a recall list. So every vehicle has issues. The BMWs, the E46s, every single 46 has an issue with the wiring on the taillights. That they go out, and then now your dash looks like a Christmas tree.
Yeah, every car has its own kind of unique problem.
Yeah.
Every one of them. So, yeah. I mean, but at the same time, I can't be mad at these auto companies because it's not like they were testing it for 5 years. But at the same time, it's like they knew how it was designed. They know the wiring was thin or something like that, you know?
Yeah.
At least that's my point of view.
You can't have this much technology now and be putting. My thing is like even though every car has its quirks or whatever, if we have this technology now, we shouldn't be making certain mistakes to where like recalls, stuff like that. Like it makes no sense to me.
Right.
At all. Like you should have 5 years to contemplate on what you're doing before you put it in a car.
But if you think about it, like every first generation, like you did mention the C8s. The first C8s had issues with some type of metal shavings on the engine. I'm pretty sure they already fixed that by 2024, 2023. It's been a year since the C8 came out. But I think at the end of the day, it comes down to you, to your vehicle. You know, if you're happy with the vehicle, is it worth it? You know, you're happy with your vehicle. Every vehicle has its own things.
Yeah.
Right. The one thing I didn't like about the newer vets, I don't know if the C8s have this, I think the C7s did, was the electric door handles from the inside. Where you push the button and it pops out. I was like, I'm thinking long term, like this is not going to open up in 6 years.
There's only two issues that I hate about the C8s is most of them, when you're trying to pull the vehicle, you won't go into drive or reverse unless you put the seat belt. If you're moving the vehicle right here, you can. You won't go in. You need to put the seatbelt on.
Dang.
Oh, yeah. That's how BMWs are. Like you can't. It would not move. At the body shop, we would have to move them all the times with the doors off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
Uh-huh.
So it only worked two ways. One, you put the seatbelt on as you're doing it, or you do it before you sit. Or some of them, if you just rode the brake the entire time and went 2 miles per hour at most, then it would be fine. But exactly. If you're going and suddenly you stop and there's no door and then you fall out, I almost did that like a few times.
With the C8s, you have the two passenger. So the driver's side, you have the controls right here in the middle. So the controls for the heating seats and the windows are right here. If you're not a car person, how do you know which button belongs to you?
Right.
Which button belongs to the passenger? So everything that's above is for the driver's side. So you're running to everything. I mean, even the new Cadillacs, you did mention about a Cadillac. The new Cadillacs have a recall where the roof racks have been leaking. People go to the car wash, it looks like
That's what happened to my friend. Well, he has a GM. He had a
Tahoe Yukon,
no, this was an Acadia, or what, the Terrain, like the
Terrain.
GMC Terrain or Acadia. I forgot which one it was, but it was in that family. And he went to a car wash, and it was like raining in his SUV. The whole thing has just water stain. He ended up having to. Dude, it was horrible, and it created like this mold.
Yeah,
it was bad, man. It was really bad.
My Mercury leaks from the roof, but I know why. Because there's rust behind the weather stripping in the windshield. So that's going to happen with anything. You know, that didn't happen until the 17th year I had the car. So it's like, all right, I know how much prep has to be done here. We got to take the windshield out to fix this leak. And I mean, you could probably, and if we're going to do things right, it's like, okay, we're going to have to replace the weather stripping now, sand that down, and then put some type of primer and other stuff on there again to protect it. Then the clear coat, it's like, and then of course the roof is going to need to be repainted. So we're looking at what's realistic, like even low $500 just to get this thing to stop leaking and to make it look nice again. Or we could be ghetto about it and just put painter's tape over the weather stripping. Or yeah, exactly.
I'm down for the easiest fix.
Yeah, silicone would probably be a better idea actually.
Or sell the car, get a new one.
I'm never selling it. I don't sell anything.
I think
How many cars do you have?
Heck, if he doesn't pick up, I'll give it to you. You want a free car?
What do you got?
What is it?
Mercore Scorpio. It's extremely rare, one of 50 left in the country, a German-made Mercury.
Yeah, send me pictures.
Okay.
I'm really good with electric, with wiring, with tracing, everything.
Awesome.
Maybe I'll figure out why my Nissan window won't roll down.
I'll bring my Blazer here. Maybe you can.
That's just the switch.
I'm so serious. Out of nowhere, it was like something happened when you open the door. It has like that, like black tube cover. You know, obviously for the electrical wires. It's something touched like that spot one day. My driver's side don't roll down anymore on that road.
You try doing this. Try tapping it when you roll up and roll down the window, and it works.
Dude, it just like I said, dude. It just does, I hit the button. No, it doesn't even get stuck. At first, it started to get stuck.
Which window?
And then it just stopped. My driver's side window on the road.
Oh, I would say you can't try another switch. That's off the master switch.
Well, no, all the other switches on there.
You could
roll down my other windows.
Pull it apart.
Yeah.
Swap it from the switch itself from the passenger to the driver's side, and now your passenger will never work.
The switch works. Like you feel it has the resist. It clicks fine.
Even if it does,
the window just does not go down.
Oh, so it's
like losing.
I
I think it's electrical. it's something.
Dumb question. I'm serious. Have you
Yeah.
slammed the door? Because I got a motor to work one time doing that. Because I had a window stuck down.
I like to treat my cars like I treat my ladies, gentle. But
So
I
you
usually
don't
door.
slam your ladies hard.
Yeah, sometimes
Then they might start
When they need
listen,
it.
They might start listening.
I mean,
better.
I do believe if you have equal rights, you deserve equal lefts. No, when my wife goes to touch the thermostat, I'm like, I
That's
will
funny.
Ray Rice your ass.
That's
No, I'm kidding. She Ray Rice me. But yeah, it's
rice.
it's something. Maybe I'll do that when we leave here. I'll just slam the shit out of my door.
Well, the way- well,
shatter my
Make sure it doesn't sound like
driver's
this.
window. No, it has no give.
Does
It
it?
doesn't wiggle. Nothing. It just one day I was starting to roll it up, and I could tell it like, and then sometimes I would hit that switch to roll it up, and it just wouldn't go up. And then when I would do it, but one day finally I had it up. I went to go roll it down, and it never rolled down again.
Maybe it was just off track.
Something's going on.
I
here,
would
man.
leave it right now, unless you really want that window open.
It sucks going through drive-thrus to get like coffee and shit, bro.
Because
You
of
gotta
the weather.
open the door every time, like, hey, sorry, and give them my card, and then they give it back, and you're like,
Well,
with your cheesy gorditas or something.
do it in the second
It's
row.
so hard.
Do it in the second row, like
Just
Hey!
lean back, dude. I'm 5'6". I'm not that tall.
Nor
So
am
it's
I.
Like, it's like I'm just an awkward shaped man, short and fat. It's like you gotta get that shit right.
You don't get a
It's a
sunroof?
little hard, huh?
No sunroof?
Not on the road, man. I live in the rogue life.
Oh, I don't know. Go through the drive-through backwards. Do it on the passenger side window.
Yeah, just go through reverse.
Like you
Yeah, that's the
got
most awkward thing is the drive-thru. So yeah, I do. If it was any other window, I would be A1 with it. But I just
Or
this is killing me, man.
Or borrow a mail truck and use that.
And now
in
that
reverse.
and now that my you made me forget what I was thinking.
Sorry, talking about windows not working.
Nah, I can't even remember. No, now that my AC went out, yeah. So
Okay, now I
see what I'm saying?
Yeah, now I see.
gotta
what you're
fix this shit.
saying. Now
So the AC ain't gonna be that bad to fix. I'm gonna fix that myself. But that window, I'm like, I don't know anything about electronics. I'll pay for that to get fixed or something. I don't know.
before you change compressor, I would check fuses first.
Like no, I got it checked out already. I know
so the
it's
compressor
the AC
is bad.
compressor out. Yes, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that's a wrap.
Ha!
There we go.
All right, hey, Irving, you want to tell us one more time where to find your business and the location and everything?
We're in Villa Park, 725 North Princeton Avenue, Unit E.
Mm-hmm.
We've been here for the past 6 years, as I can remember. And yeah.
Villa Park, 4K Auto.
One reason why we named it, 4K Automotive Solutions. Solutions is because you were talking about your vehicle. You know how many stories we can tell you about different cars, different makes, different models. Not only because it's their own vehicles, but because other shops touched it and then they made a mess, so we found a solution. So many times we're just trying to find the solution for the mess up that came in.
You're part of solutions, not problems. I dig it.
And 4K because of the quality, basically.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. That's beautiful. I'm glad it's successful with you and your wife as well. That's always a great story. There's too many bad stories out there with divorce and people not working out. So it's good that you guys do everything together, travel together, work together. So 4K Auto in Villa Park. Go to them. You can find them for your wraps. They'll wrap your fridge to your car. That's a wrap.
Thank you for watching and listening to the Unqualified Professionals. Follow us on SoundCloud, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.
That's entertainment.